Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Faye Watt, and let's queer up lesbian and queer women. Rikki's, San Francisco's new women's sports bar to open up in the Castro. For the first time in more than a year, Queer News Tonight is reporting a new women's bar in the U.S. In San Francisco, a city renowned as a gay mecca, there's one glaring gap: women's bars. With only 2 in the city serving a lesbian clientele, Sara Yergovich and Danielle Thoe are stepping up to the plate. The 2 met while playing soccer with the San Francisco Spikes, and now they're kicking off their own venture, Rikki's, a women's sports bar in the Castro, opening in May on Market Street. Rikki's will be the first space for women in the area in decades, and the partners are eager to make an impact. Despite not having a hospitality background, Sara works in marketing and Danielle is in affordable housing. Their combined expertise, along with an advisory group of industry veterans, has already raised hundreds of thousands in funding. During a recent chat with LGBTQ Nation, Sara and Danielle revealed that the idea for Rikki's sparked during a casual soccer game conversation. Rikki's isn't just a bar. It's a community space that will serve as a hub for women and non-binary fans of sports. Danielle says, quote, "We want people to feel like they can gather here after their own games," end quote. Named after the late Rikki Streicher, who helped establish iconic women's bars, Maud's and Amelia's, Rikki's is paying tribute to those lost spaces. The bar will highlight women's sports, a field that's gaining momentum with teams like the Valkyries in the WNBA and Bay FC in the NWSL. As they prepare to open, Sara and Danielle are making their mark with a community-driven approach, funding from friends, family, and 222 investors via Wefunder. Well, so I give a big shout out to Sara and Danielle for doing this. It's a long time coming, you know. I met many of my future ex-wives at bars on Market Street in the Castro. The cafe was one of my favorite places in the world, and it was very women-centric, but it was also, like very gay-centric all along. So I love that they're opening a place for women. I lived in San Francisco for about 3 years, and something different about San Francisco as opposed to Wilton Manors is that the girl bars had boys in it. Right? Like, for whatever reason, the girls and the boys partied together in San Francisco. I think they were maybe just a little ahead of us here in Wilton Manors. We're here now, you're seeing that more girls go into the boy spaces and vice versa, and it's more inclusive to accommodate all the letters in our acronym, I hope, one thing is that I really hope that they have the support. They say that they have advisors, that they have a board of advisors. Things like that are important. So places like this don't close after a year. They say most businesses have no money, to really have to have enough money to get through 3 years of operating, right? And that means all overhead, all of that. That's very difficult, and that is way more than just a couple $100,000 that would make that happen,
But it's important that they have 222 supporters and it's still growing. And we listed the funding organization so that anyone who's watching, if you want to invest, even if it's just a few bucks, drop them a line. I'm sure they would be welcome to having even more people support them, and I think we should. We have one gay bar, one lesbian bar in Wilton Manors, and that's sort of
any.
Yeah, well,
we don't have a lesbian bar.
But what about the one across from Rosie's?
Lit? Yeah,
I heard
not a lesbian bar.
Okay, so then
no. 9F is a restaurant owned by a lesbian.
Yeah, Carol and her. Yeah, but
and trust me, if you go into 9F, it's a party. So, you could go in there and have a great time.
And Carol's been instrumental in this town for
yes, 100%.
Decades.
100%. 100%. And they have She Life events that has a Friday night lesbian parties at the Well.
Yes.
And Lit Bar is very, 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 very lesbian friendly and very, very inclusive
But we need more women. We need more spaces for women because the lesbian community is the invisible tribe on the alphabet. They're there. We know it. We just don't always see it.
Yeah. I wish them well. I hope people go.
Yeah.
I hope people start to realize the value of that in-person community again, and that they start really seeking out those safe spaces, those places for community, and they really get the enjoyment that we used to get. I mean, I remember younger, you just couldn't, you didn't realize you weren't breathing until you got in the door, and it was like,
and you were excited.
Oh, yeah, and you could just kind of be
they didn't always
yourself.
have names on the doors.
Right,
you just had to know what the door was.
You have to know where to go. Yeah. So I hope people go. I hope they take advantage, and I hope they start to reconnect in that way. Because I think finances and lots of different things have happened to push people away from in-person spaces.
Well, the damn phones and all the apps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
But
So
without the support,
I hope
they
we
won't
get that back.
But our bars, in our history, gay bars, trans bars, lesbian bars, mixed bars, those are sacred spaces. That's where people, they felt safe, they could be themselves. And there's another word for holiness, it's authenticity. So when you get to be all of who you are, that's wholeness, that's holiness. So these are sacred spaces, this is sacred ground. And so I'm always sad when they don't make it, and I'm always excited when there's a new one trying. So however we can support all of these that pop up. If nothing else, when you go to, and everyone goes to San Francisco, you know, visit this bar.
Yeah, or at least follow it in social media, right? Drop a couple bucks into their fundraising bit, right? Do whatever it is that you can to help, because again, everybody needs to put their money where their mouth is. If you've got the money, right, in LGBTQ and allyship, support LGBTQ, because we have to. It's necessary. It's a necessity to have our own space.
I encourage everyone to go to the website and buy one beer. Pay for one beer or one drink that you would spend locally. Put that same dollar amount on that website and watch them.
One beer on South
idea.
Beach. One beer on South Beach is about $24. All right. That is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world.